you're always worried about what other people think of you, I think, when you're young. And when you get to my age, you worry a lot less about it because it matters a lot less. It matters what you think about you, really.
So what advice would you give to your younger self?
Definitely less materialistic experiences, more experiences of our experience of adventuring.
With my career, I wish I stayed in jobs longer, and I wish I'd travelled a lot more.
You're 25. What advice would you give to yourself 10 years ago?
Persistence.
Yeah.
Persistence. The times when I've really stuck at something and persisted in pursuing it, that's when I have been able to achieve it.
Try not to sweat so much on the small things because it feels like such a big thing at the time, but actually in a week's time no one would have even remembered it.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Take chances, take risks, but always do them in a mindful, careful way, and always be kind in every situation if you can.
Wouldn't have been less shy.
Right.
So yeah, just to go for it and like doing some things like this. So even if I'm not English, so I'm Italian.
Oh, okay, nice.
So I'm sorry for my bad English.
No, it's great, it's great.
I think if I had told 15-year-old me where I was today, I think she would be proud and also not surprised.
Okay, great. So you
If
did
that
what
makes
you set
sense.
out to do.
Yeah, exactly.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
I think 10 years ago the world was a totally different place. I mean, I come from India, I've lived all over the world, Russia, Vietnam, it was a globalized world, so I guess I would tell youngsters to live in the moment, try to maximize every opportunity.
Every day is a lesson, so it's about, just not worrying too much about where you are going to be in 5-10 years and just, everything happens for a reason.
I come from very little. My family don't have much. So I very much focused on like academia, sports, work, that kind of side of things, which I think is important up to the point, but like I'm 30. So like
Still very young.
Still young, but at this point I've realised kind of that materialistic things, that aspect of life doesn't really mean as much as it probably did growing up.
Have you ever missed out on something because you overthought something or didn't really give it a chance?
Not so much missed out, but I've definitely ruminated on something way too much and spent too many precious hours like overthinking something for sure.
So people in their 20s who are worried about their future right now, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say that it's okay, we are still young, and even if you are not young, like it's okay to trust yourself and to find yourself.
Education's the biggest thing for you at an earlier age, and be more articulate in what you want to set your goal on instead of flopping from job to job. Do one job and do it well.
I think you don't achieve things if you're afraid to take risks, and if you take risks too freely, you could make big mistakes. So that's why I use the word mindful, cautious, careful, but you have to do them, otherwise you don't experience life to the full.
Do you think younger people overthink too much about the future?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, so how do they stop doing that?
I think it's hard to just stop.
I think we're probably still trying to find the answers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I see you on on TikTok.
Really? Oh my god, you saw me! Oh my god, thanks!